I didn't leave because I didn't care. I didn't leave because I didn't love them. I left because something in me broke, and no matter how hard I tried to fix it, the truth remained. I wasn't built for this. Not in the way they wanted. Not in the way the system demanded. When I became a teacher, I believed in it. I believed in helping children. I believed in learning. I believed that education was the doorway to something better for them and for me, for the world. But belief is not enough when the body starts to unravel. It began slowly. Fatigue that didn't go away over the weekend, headaches after staff meetings, tightness in the chest that I couldn't name. Sunday nights became morning rituals, and Monday mornings felt like betrayals. Still, I showed up, because that's what teachers do. We show up. We pour ourselves into rooms that never stop buzzing. We hold space for 30 different nervous systems, each demanding, needing, collapsing, resisting, and we try to love them all, even when we've forgotten how to love ourselves. But here's the one thing no one tells you. Most of us weren't mechanically built for this job, this structure, this daily expectation of full-time energetic output, multitasking attention, split focus, crowd management, emotional regulation, and administrative compliance. Was not designed with the human form in mind, not the real one, not the way the body graph works. In human design terms, I'm a projector. I'm here to see, I'm here to guide, to penetrate the other and offer clarity. But I was placed in a structure that required me to generate, non-stop, to initiate lessons, to sustain attention, to manage constant energy flow, to respond to every need, every behavior, every disruption, while still delivering curriculum tied to outcomes I had no part in creating. I tried it, I really did. But my body couldn't sustain it, because it wasn't my energy, and it never was. We aren't trained to think this way. We're taught that burnout is a sign of weakness or bad boundaries or poor time management. We're told to self-care more, to find joy in the little things, to stay for the kids. But no amount of journaling can correct a structural misalignment. No meditation app will rewire a system that is energetically incompatible with your form. And that's what the classroom is. A mechanical field that collapses most adult auras into dysfunction. Most classrooms today run on a compressed aura structure. One teacher, 30 students, a broken pentafield, too many people for group harmony, and too few for a real wall configuration. It's not learning. It's not a learning field. And for projectors, reflectors, for non-sacral beings, for anyone with open centers and sensitive awareness, that field is toxic over time. We don't just get tired, we get sick. We disassociate and we begin to lose ourselves inside the noise. Not because we're weak, but because we're taking in energy that isn't ours and trying to use it as fuel, and it doesn't work. Some teachers survive it. A few even thrive, and they're usually generators or manifesting generators with sacral consistency, a focused leftness, an environmental alignment that lets them operate within chaos without losing their own internal integrity. They exist, but they're not the norm. And they're not the standard to which the rest of us should be compared. I tried for years to keep up, to match the others, to stay late, to offer more, to meet every child's need. But I began to disappear. I forgot who I was outside the classroom. I forgot what quiet felt like. I forgot how to rest. And the guilt, the guilt, it was unbearable. Because if I cared, I should have been able to keep going, right? But caring isn't capacity, and intention isn't alignment. And loving your students doesn't override the laws of your design. I remember the day. I remember the day. I remember the day. It wasn't dramatic. No panic attack. No principal confrontation. It was quiet. I stood at the front of the room and looked out at the faces of the 30 children and felt nothing. nothing. Not because I didn't care, but because I had nothing left to give. I had become a machine, performing love with a body that had already left the room. And in that moment, I knew, this isn't mine to carry anymore. I left. Eventually, reluctantly, with shame, with grief, with relief. And I didn't leave because I was broken. I left because the structure was. The school system in 2025 still operates under the geometry of a cycle that's ending. A cycle that demanded output, scale, structure, standardization. But that geometry no longer holds. And as the frequency mutates, those who are most sensitive, the teachers, the empaths, the seers, and they feel it first. They get sick, they'll burn out, they'll collapse, not because they're failures, but because they're mechanically unable to sustain alignment in a system that no longer fits. Some of us were never meant to teach 30 students in a single room. Some of us were meant to guide, one-on-one. Some of us were designed to wait for recognition. Some of us need quiet, subtle environments. Some of us are mountains who require distance. Some of us are caves who need control. Some of us are right-facing and cannot strategize lesson plans by force. Some of us are not supposed to lead at all, but no one told us that. We're told just to care harder, to give more, to stretch further. But care isn't sustainable when the structure is wrong, and giving more doesn't help when the vessel is dry. So I'm here now, on the outside, not to condemn the system, but to witness what it did to me, and to whisper something to the one still inside. You're not weak. You're not failing. You're not alone. Your body isn't betraying you. It's telling you the truth. And maybe, just maybe, you were never meant to teach in this way. And that's not a tragedy. That's clarity. No one is to blame. Not the school, not the students, not the teachers, not the administrators, not the parents. Everyone is doing what they can inside a system that was designed for a geometry that no longer exists. The signal has changed. The frequency is shifting. The wheel is turning. And those of us who feel it most, we're not broken. We're just early.